And the bill is a good bill. It shows you that there is an effort to try to get at least some kind of process in place. Just to flag for everybody, what this bill would do is it would reduce the share of aid money that small businesses are required to spend on payroll from 75% to 60%. It extends the window businesses have to use the funds from 2 months to 6 months. It pushes back the June 30 deadline to rehire workers, which is very good because that's getting very close. And extends the time recipients have to repay the loan and lets companies that get loan forgiveness defer their payroll taxes. So this is a very targeted bill. It does not do everything the business community wanted to fix PPP or even close, but it's a first effort. I've looked at the Senate floor schedule. There is not at this time any plan to take up next week. They have they come back to vote on Monday, 4 different nominations lined up, one of which is a judge, one of which is an assistant secretary of defense, and one of which is actually COVID related and is a new Treasury special inspector general for COVID related financing. My expectation is the Senate will take this up probably the week after. So we definitely see some interest in moving forward with points on the board bills, but not the level of urgency you would expect. I'm glad that Michael mentioned McConnell's face mask as well. There is, in certain parts of the Republican Party leadership, a growing realization they're in very serious trouble. Drew and I every so often talk about what we call lesser seen poll numbers that don't involve the presidential race, but involve what I might call tertiary Senate races that should not by any stretch be competitive. But if they are competitive, I mean, a party's in very grave trouble. One of those this week came out for South Carolina, which is not supposed to be competitive at all. Had the incumbent Republican senator at 42%, tied with his challenger, the incumbent Republican senator being Lindsey Graham of all people. This signals the weakness that the Republican Party in the Senate is facing. And so it does look pretty clear they're going to have to do more, and they realize that. McConnell finally did walk back his claim that there would not be additional bills and say we're probably going to have to do another bill. So he's still in wait and see mode, which is a little surprising. My view remains a week from today, we actually get our job employment report for May, which will probably show additional job losses, probably easily in the millions, as well as a spike in all sorts of underemployment metrics and a drop in hours worked. That should probably create the opening for finally the negotiations to start in earnest on a phase 4 bill. I have been initially saying that we'd get this bill by late June. I'm starting to think it'll be in very early July, simply because the Republican leadership is moving so much slower than I would have ever imagined. They continue to just kind of move this off. The vibe apparently for a long time really was if we reopen, a lot of this goes away. And that was, I would say, contrary to all available evidence. Sweden, which has never closed down, never done a lockdown, had its consumer spending drop precipitously anyway. People just aren't willing to spend right now. And the idea you can have organic growth without government support right now is simply not feasible.